American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you dummies. The night is young, girl, what can you do for me?
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Minnesota Vikings. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. First carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Second down, Kamara. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And they'll go on the ground. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Baxter. It's a loss of 7. And now it's third down. Throwing on third and long. Baxter. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
2 sacks last week. Another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st down, Tyler. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. In on the stop, it was Travarius Moore. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on 3rd down, Baxter. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get 14 yards out of it and a fresh set of downs.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st and 10, Baxter. Steps away to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49. Cooper was the target there. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down, eluding the pressure right. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31. '49ers with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and goal just inside the 5. Looking to throw. Tyler. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. They'll come out in the pistol. Back to throw. Tyler, and he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down, so let's see what this is about. A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Tyler being chased out left. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. In for the score. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
And he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Flag down. This could set him back. Yeah, this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
A give. This is Kamara. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle, and he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off around the 37, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Tyler forced out to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Tyler. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. First time these two have hooked up this afternoon, and it's a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
56. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On first down, Tyler. Wide open receiver complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down a sack back at the 16-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on first and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here. After first and second down went backwards, it's third and very long. Back to throw. Tyler shakes off the sack. Escaping the pressure right. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Well, there's a bunch of pressure that time on third down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
And Elliott puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
Yeah, things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front seven? As they got closer to their goal line, things stiffened a little bit, forced the field goal.
And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Minnesota. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And down he'll go at the 25. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. To throw on second down. Baxter. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Two minutes remain here in the first half. More from Minneapolis after this. The Vikings on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Baxter. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And taken right on the 30. Boy, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Tyler. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. A very solid gain of 27.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Tyler fighting through pressure, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Looking to throw. Tyler. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one goes for 24 yards.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Over! Take 4! Watch it now, Barney!
Operating from the gun, Tyler. And his throw here's incomplete.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Tyler. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And another timeout called by the Vikings now, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. And the kick by Elliott is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And out now come the Vikings. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Throwing on 1st down. Baxter. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. on first down. Baxter staying on his feet, dancing to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings on third down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and a mile. We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. It's the 49ers out in front, and they will get the football first as well as we are back and started in the second half. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Flushed out right toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Detroit!
On 1st and 10, Tyler stepping up. He'll try and run, and he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I think the last 2 plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those 2 that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Detroit!
To throw again. Tyler. Flush to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Niners on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Watch it now, Barney!
Back to throw. Tyler. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good pickup there, a 22.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Looking to throw. Tyler. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this two-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Back to throw. Baxter. Rolling left side, he's got it. Complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Throwing on first down. Baxter. Throws left side, complete to Keenan Allen. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of scheme going.
Throwing left side, it's complete. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Looking to throw. Baxter. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Heavy on the edges. Heavy on the edges. I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. 53's the Mike. 53's the Mike.
Throwing again. Baxter. Buying time to his left. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Cooper was the intended target. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. First down. Tyler escapes the sack, eluding the pressure, but in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down.
I know I'm supposed to do the analysis here, but I've got to ask, how did he stay alive that long in the pocket?
Yeah, great footwork, which we know he has. If he would have been able to stay alive, get rid of the ball, or run for some yardage, he would have had a very unhappy defensive coordinator, I believe.
No doubt about that.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Operating from the gun. Tyler escaping the pressure right. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Mike Hughes. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. 1st and 10. Baxter. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Kendall Fuller. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And now out comes Minnesota. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes...
And now here's another interception. He's picked off at his own 47, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Throwing on first down. Tyler trying to lay one up deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it and put people on him.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Gun! Watch him now, Barney! Watch him now, Barney!
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tyler flushed out right. Throw right side, going to be complete to Moss. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. Give him 30 yards there. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Detroit!
On 1st down, Tyler. That's complete right around the 8. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route,
and he will not throw it away. He goes out of bounds, well shy of the line of scrimmage, so that's a sack. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Detroit!
Back to throw. Tyler. And that is incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to rifle one deep left side. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time.
Ohio! Ohio! Hut! Hut!
Back to the air on second down. Baxter steps away to his left. Being chased out left, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Flex round! Flex round! Ohio! Ohio! Check! Hut!
Throwing on third and long. Baxter. And incomplete on the deep ball. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down.
Flex round! Flex round! Hut! Hut!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on fourth. And the Niners take over in terrific field position.
Detroit! 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 Gun! 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 Gun!
On first and 10, Tyler. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Detroit! Detroit!
Looking to throw on second down. Tyler. Flush to his right. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Looking to throw. Tyler. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the gun, Tyler. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, second and goal. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after.
Hammering for the goal line. He loses the football. And this belongs to the Vikings.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. To throw on 2nd down, Baxter. And my goodness, another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he is going to bring this back inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So here's Vic following the interception. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now a 2nd down throw for Vic. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to...
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So they get the takeaway, but that's just step 1. They still have a lot of work to do.
But they don't want to focus on that now. Now it's about getting the ball in the end zone and hoping they can take it away again.
Yeah, still a 3-score game, though, 4th quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get only a couple up to the 22.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Ohio!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Baxter. And now here's another interception. Adrian Amos with a pick. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Intended that time for Cooper. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he'd won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2000. And he fires one that's intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy learning to took the back from.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Solomon Thomas there on the tackle.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Flex round! Flex round!
They'll run it now out of the gun. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. Let's take it inside his own 40. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. And San Francisco gets set to go here. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you know, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Keanu Neal.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Ohio! Ohio! 53, check 53.
They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Flex round! Flex round! Let's get that ball,
To throw again. Baxter. Now a desperation throw. Deep depth. That's caught inside the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 44 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again. Baxter. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I remember throughout my career hearing defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Despite the late lead, Vic's going to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. A first down throw coming for Vic. Forced out to his left. And that'll be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
Let's go. White 20. Go, go, go. Go, go, go.
A second down throw for Vic. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 13. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Baxter. And the Niners get there and bring him down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. He's going to let it fly. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 35. And that will write a finish to this ball game.
They were my business on the front page.